Good morning, everyone. Dreamers, change makers, life livers. Thank you for being here today. I look around this room and I see something extraordinary. I see people who are ready to break free, ready to grow, ready to live their best lives. I see people who have a spark inside them, a spark of possibility, a spark of courage, a spark that's been waiting to ignite. And I'm here to tell you something that's going to set your soul on fire. Your best life awaits you. It's right there on the other side of change. All you have to do is say yes. Today, we're going to talk about how you can embrace change, how you can use it to transform your life, and how you can step into the best version of yourself by saying yes to the opportunities that change brings. Let's start with a simple truth. Change is the only constant in life. Nothing stays the same. Not your circumstances, not your relationships, not your dreams, not even you. Change is happening all around us all the time. Sometimes it's small, like a new routine or a new job. Sometimes it's big, like a move to a new city, a career shift, or a life-altering decision. And sometimes change comes uninvited through loss, failure, or unexpected challenges. But here's the thing about change. It's not enemy. Change is your greatest ally. Change is the doorway to your best life. Change is the path to growth, to transformation, to everything you've ever wanted. And when you say yes to change, you say yes to your best life. What does it mean to say yes to change? It means embracing the unknown with open arms. It means letting go of the fear, the doubt, the resistance that keeps you stuck. It means seeing change not as a threat, but as an opportunity to grow, to learn, to become the person you were always meant to be. Saying yes to change is about trusting that the universe is always working in your favor, even when it doesn't feel like it. It's about believing that every change, every shift, every challenge is leading you closer to your best life. And when you say yes to change, you unlock a world of possibilities, a world where your best life awaits. I want you to think about a time in your life when you said yes to change. Maybe it was the time you left a job that was draining you, even though you were scared of the uncertainty, and found a career that lit you up. Maybe it was the time you moved to a new city, leaving behind everything familiar, and discovered a community that felt like home. Maybe it was the time you ended a toxic relationship, choosing yourself over comfort, and found the strength to love again. Do you remember how it felt? Do you remember the fear, the excitement, the leap of faith you took? And do you remember the reward, the growth, the joy, the sense of being fully alive? That's what happens when you say yes to change. That's what happens when you step into your best life. But here's the hard truth. Most of us don't say yes to change. Most of us resist it. We cling to the familiar, even when it's not serving us. We stay in jobs we hate, relationships that hurt, habits that hold us back because we're afraid of what's on the other side. We tell ourselves, I'm not ready. It's too risky. What if I fail? We let keep us stuck, keep us small, keep us from the life we were meant to live. But I'm here to tell you that fear is a lie. That resistance is a thief. Your best life awaits you. And the only thing standing between you and that life is your willingness to say yes to change. Let me tell you a story about someone who said yes to change, a woman named Oprah Winfrey. Oprah grew up in poverty in Mississippi, facing challenges most of us can't imagine. She endured abuse, discrimination, and hardship from a young age. But Oprah said yes to change. She said yes to the opportunity to work in radio while she was still in high school, even though it meant stepping into the unknown. She said yes to moving to Chicago to host a struggling morning show, even though it was a risk. That show became The Oprah Winfrey Show, one of the most successful talk shows in history. And when she faced criticism, when she faced setbacks, when she faced moments of doubt, Oprah kept saying yes to change. She said yes to starting her own production company, to launching a magazine, to creating a network. Today, Oprah is one of the most influential women in the world. A billionaire who's used her platform to inspire millions. Why? Because she said yes to change. Because she knew her best life was waiting on the other side. Let's dive deeper into Oprah's story, because there's so much we can learn from her journey. Imagine being Oprah Winfrey as a young girl, growing up in a house with no electricity, no running water, and a family that couldn't afford to give you the opportunities most kids take for granted. Imagine facing abuse, running away from home at 14, and still daring to dream of a better life. Imagine starting your career in a male-dominated industry where people told you didn't belong, where you were paid less, treated less, valued less. And yet Oprah kept saying yes to change. She'd take every opportunity, even when it scared her. She'd move to new cities, take on new roles, embrace new challenges, because she believed that change was her path to greatness. And because she said yes to change, she didn't just build a career, she built a legacy. That's what it means to say yes to change. That's what it means to step into your best life. Now, comma. You might be thinking, that's an incredible story, but I'm no Oprah. I don't have that kind of courage or opportunity. Let me stop you right there. You don't need to be Oprah to say yes to change. You don't need a big stage or a grand legacy. Your best life is personal. It's about who you are, what you create, how you show up in your own journey. Maybe your best life is leaving a toxic job to start a business that lights you up. Maybe your best life is moving to a new country to chase a dream you've always had. Maybe your best life is letting go of old habits and building new ones that make you feel alive. Whatever it is, it's yours. And when you say yes to change, you step into that life that I quote, "Be seen the power of saying yes to change in my own life." A few years ago, I was stuck in a rut. I was working a job I didn't love, living a life that felt safe but unfulfilling. I'd wake up every day feeling like I was meant for more, but I was too afraid to change. I'd tell myself, this is fine, I'm comfortable. Why rock the boat? But deep down, I knew I wasn't living my best life. One day, I decided I'd had enough. I decided to say yes to change. I quit my job, even though I didn't have a clear plan. I said yes to starting a new career as a motivational speaker, even though I was terrified of public speaking. I said yes to moving to a new city, even though it meant leaving behind everything familiar. And let me tell you, it wasn't easy. There were moments of doubt, moments of fear, moments when I thought, what have I done? But every time I said yes to change, I grew. I became more confident, more resilient, more alive. Today, I'm standing here, speaking to all of you, living a life I love, because I said yes change. Because I knew my best life was waiting on the other side. Let quotes talk about why saying yes to change matters. In a world that's constantly shifting, change is your superpower. It's what allows you to grow, to evolve, to become the best version of yourself. When you say yes to change, you give yourself permission to live fully, to chase your dreams, to take risks, to create a life that lights you up. And when you embrace change, you inspire others to do the same. You show them what's possible. You become a beacon of courage, of possibility, of transformation. Think about the people in your life, your family, your friends, your community. What kind of example do you want to set for them? Do you want them to see someone who stays stuck, who resists change, who settles for less? Or do you want them to see someone who says yes to change, who steps to their best life, who lives with courage and joy? Let me tell you about another person who says yes to change, a man named Elon Musk. Elon Musk is known today as the CEO of Tesla and SpaceX, but his journey to success was filled with change. Elon grew up in South Africa, where he faced bullying and a difficult childhood. At 17, he said yes to change. He left South Africa to move to Canada with no clear plan, just a dream of a better life. He said yes to dropping out of a PhD program at Stanford to start his first company, even though it was a risk. He said yes to founding SpaceX, even though everyone told him space travel was impossible for a private company. And when SpaceX's first 3 rocket launches failed, nearly bankrupting him, Elon said yes to change again. He learned from the failures, adjusted his approach, and kept going. Today, SpaceX is a leader in space exploration, and Elon is one of the most influential innovators in the world. Why? Because he said yes to change, because he knew his best life was waiting on the other side. Let's dive deeper into Elon's story, because there's so much we can learn from his journey. Imagine being Elon Musk in 2008, standing on the brink of failure. You've poured your life savings into SpaceX, and your first 3 rocket launches have failed. Your employees are looking to you for answers, but you don't have any. Your family is worried, your friends are skeptical, and the world is watching, waiting for you to fall. And yet, Elon said yes to change. He didn't cling to the failing strategies, he adapted. He didn't give up on his dream, he doubled down. He said yes to learning from his mistakes, to trying again, to pushing forward. And that 4th launch, the one that succeeded, changed everything. It saved SpaceX, paved the way for contracts with NASA, and made history. That's what it means to say yes to change. That's what it means to step into our best life. So how do you say yes to change? How do you embrace it to live your best life? Let me give you 3 practical steps to help you get started. Step 1, shift your mindset. Stop seeing change as something to fear and start seeing it as something to embrace. Instead of asking, what if I fail? Ask, what if I soar? Instead of saying, I'm not ready, say, I'm ready to grow. Reframe change as an opportunity, not a threat. Because when you shift your mindset, you shift your reality. You open yourself up to the possibilities that change brings. You open yourself up to your best life. Step 2, take small, brave steps. You don't have to change everything at once. Start small, but start bravely. If you want to change your career, say yes to taking a course that will build your skills. If you want to change your health, say yes to going for a walk today. If you want to change your relationships, say yes to having that honest conversation you've been avoiding. Every small step you take builds your courage. Every small step you take brings you closer to your best life. Step 3, surround yourself with change champions. You can't embrace change if you're surrounded by people who resist it. So find your cheerleaders, your supporters, your encouragers, your believers. Surround yourself with people who've said yes to change, who've transformed their lives, who remind you of what's possible. And be that person for someone else. Because when we say yes to change together, we create a ripple effect of transformation. When we step into our best lives together, we create a world of possibility. Let me tell you about a woman I met named Priya, a single mother from Delhi. Priya was stuck in a life she didn't love. She's working a low-paying job, struggling to provide for her kids, feeling like she never escaped the cycle of hardship. But Priya decided to say yes to change. She shifted her mindset. She told herself, change is my chance to build a better life. She took small, brave steps. She enrolled in a night course to learn a new skill, even though it meant long hours and less sleep. She surrounded herself with change champions, friends who encouraged her, a mentor who guided her, a community that believed in her. And over time, Priya transformed her life. She started a small business, doubled her income, and created a better future for her children. Why? Because she said yes to change. Because she knew her best life was waiting on the other side. I want you to imagine something with me. Imagine a life where you've said yes to change. Imagine waking up every day knowing that you're living your best life, that you're growing, that you're thriving, that you're fully alive. Imagine the freedom you'll feel, the joy you'll experience, the impact you'll make. Imagine looking back on your life and saying, I didn't resist change, I embraced it, I said yes, and I stepped into my best life. That life is not a fantasy. That life is yours for the taking. All you have to do is say yes. Let course take a moment to reflect. I want you to close your eyes for a second and think about a change you're facing right now. What is it? What's the shift? The challenge, the opportunity that's calling you. Picture that change in your mind. Now picture yourself saying yes to it, embracing it, stepping into it, trusting it. Picture the person you'll become, the confidence you'll feel, the growth you'll experience, the life you'll create. Picture your best life unfolding before you, the joy, the freedom, the purpose. How does that feel? That feeling, that's the power of saying yes to change. That's what it means to live your best life. Let me share one more story. A story about a woman named Malala Yousafzai. Malala grew up in Pakistan where the Taliban banned girls from going to school. At 11, she started speaking out for girls' rights, even though it put her life at risk. At 15, she was shot in the head by the Taliban for her activism. Most people would have given up. Most people would have let fear stop them. But Malala said yes to change. She said yes to healing, to speaking out again, to becoming a global advocate for education. She said yes to moving to a new country, to facing new challenges, to leading a movement. Today, Malala is a Nobel Peace Prize winner, an inspiration to millions, and a living example of what happens when you say yes to change. Why? Because she knew her best life was waiting on the other side. So today, I'm asking you to make a commitment to yourself, to your dreams, to the life you want to live. Commit to saying yes to change, no matter how big or how small. Commit to embracing the unknown day after day, no matter how scary it feels. Commit to stepping into your best life, no matter what it takes, because I promise you, when you say a yes to change, you become unstoppable. You become a creator, a transformer, a liver of your best life. The world is waiting for you. Your dreams are waiting for you. Your best life is waiting for you. So go out there, say a yes to change. Step into your greatness and watch how you live the life you were always meant to live. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Success Mindset.